Hey, you right guys, Trace Munters Joe here, and today we are going to be doing a video that's probably going to be about 20 hours long. Maybe not that long, but it's going to be quite a while doing this, but we're going to be going through every TV show that I have watched and ranking them from goated shows through to fantastic, really solid, average, more bad than good, and then trash down at the bottom. So there's every TV show, so it's going to be a long one. A couple of things to get through. Like, firstly, I've not included shows that I've watched like a few episodes of, so these are only TV shows that I've finished or have at least watched one season of. So you'll get like Supernatural on here, for example, because I've watched season one of that show. So it's including shows I've at least watched one season of, because I just feel like judging a show based off a couple of episodes isn't exactly fair. It's kind of hard to do, and then this list would be packed even more by probably like another 50 to 60 shows if I added every show that I watched at least one episode of. So it's going to be at least one season. Thing number two to keep in mind: this is probably going to be filmed in multiple parts. So if I change clothes dead suddenly through the video, is because it's a different day. I'm probably not gonna sit here and do all of these today because let's scroll down. I'll show you kind of all the shows we have to get through here. It's not a lot. I think there's 175 shows. So it's not like 500. I could do this in one sitting if I wanted to, but I kind of don't want to be sat here in the heat for, I don't know, however long this is going to take. Because the third thing, and then there's a fourth thing, and then there's a fifth thing, but I'll get through them very quickly. The third thing was that I don't want to rush through all of these. I kind of want to give like at least like a 30 to 60 second little brief on my kind of thoughts on certain shows. I'm not going to, I could speed run this and get it done in like 50 minutes if I wanted to, but there's no fun in that. You guys kind of maybe want to hear a little bit about the shows you love, and some shows that I've obviously not watched in a while that maybe we've done reactions to, and then shows that I've not done reactions to that I've never given my thoughts on. I thought would be kind of cool to do. So we'll be doing that as well. The fourth thing, obviously, as I say in every tier list, this is like my opinion, my thoughts on where things are going to rank. Oh my god, the likelihood of us getting I say this in every tier list as well, but especially for this one, the likelihood of us having the exact same order to all of these shows is, I'm going to say it, impossible. Impossible, surely. It has to be. There's one person out there who would have the exact same order that I'm going to do for all of these. And wherever that person is, I hope they're having the best day in the world. But we don't know what that list is going to be yet. And then the fifth thing, and probably the most important point, maybe, is I'm going to be doing by the time this video is up, it should have started already, but over on my Instagram, we're going to be doing a big tournament arc, I like to call it, for 120 something TV shows. So not as many as that there's going to be here, but most of these shows you see here are going to be there on Instagram, and it's like a big bracket tournament arc that you guys can all vote in, and I'll be doing 3 on my Instagram story every single day. So let's pick a random one. We'll have like Avatar versus Elite for one of them, and then you have to vote for which show you think is the best, and we're going to whittle it down to one show that you guys can all decide is the greatest show of all time. So if you're watching this on the day it's uploaded, or a few days even after it's uploaded, because it'll be going on for quite a while, like a month or something probably, from when this video is up, then you can go on my Instagram, which will be linked down below, and have your say. So you don't even have to listen to me ramble on. You can just vote for which one you want, and then we'll pick what is the greatest show of all time. But for now, this is my opinion and my list, and then you guys can do your opinion and your list. I mean, you could just do your own video, to be fair. But there's also the Instagram link if you want to go vote on that. But yeah, that's pretty much everything, I think. Oh, I guess a kind of sick thing. I plan to do this every year. This is going to be like the main big one because we're going through every show. But it's more like I'll update it every like June or July of however many years I do it for. So it'll only be like throwing in an extra 15 shows probably. And I'd probably go through shows that I'm currently watching again, or that I've had new seasons out of this list, and update my thoughts on them. Little things like that. So like 13 Reasons Why, for example, is never really going to get updated because the show's done, for example. But then there's Alice in Borderland, where season 2 comes out in a few months, so my thoughts and opinions might change on it, for example. So check back next year in 2023 maybe and see where things differ. But let's get on with it. It's going to be a while that we're here for, so might as well start with 13 Reasons Why. I'll just go through in order. I'm not going to bother picking and choosing. I think for the most part this is in alphabetical order. So 13 Reasons Why. 4 seasons, finished, 2 years ago? I remember really loving season 1. A lot of people hate loving. I did give it a 9 out of 10, I think, with season 1 when I reacted to it. I'd probably change that rating to like a mid-8. A lot of people hate 13 Reasons Why. I understand why as well, to be fair to it. Well, to be fair to the people that hate it, I get it, but I had fun with it. Seasons 2 to 4 are pretty bad, admittedly. I enjoyed doing reactions to it. I think it's a very easy show to react to, if that makes sense. But in terms of quality, it's definitely not up there. Acting's always really solid. I think everyone brings their A game with 13 Reasons Why. But yeah, the story kind of felt like it was something that should have stayed as one season, but obviously with how popular season 1 was, they continued to do more and more, and then another one. And at least they ended after 4 seasons, because I felt like for a minute there, I was like, yo, this is going to go on for like 7 or 8 seasons, just like Clay having the worst life ever. But yeah, season 1, I still stand by, was actually really good. And then 2, 3, and 4, I think were pretty bad, but they were kind of fun. So I'm going to say... we're already going to get a bit controversial with 13 Reasons Why, but I'm going to put it in goated. No, yo, imagine how many people would just be like, yo, I don't even care about this guy's opinion, now I'm done. Put 13 Reasons Why in goated, oh my lord. More bad than good? Technically, yes. But I had fun with it, so I'm going to put it in average. It's an average show. It's, I think season 1's what keeps it above being more bad than good for me. But yeah, there's 13 Reasons Why. 24 is goated for me. Goated show. One of my favourite shows of all time. This is a little bit... A lot of these shows are going to have a bias in them, of course, but... Oh yeah, and I'm judging these on like the quality of the show, but also how much entertainment I get out of the show, hence why 13 Reasons Why is up there in average. But yeah, 24, I know technically speaking, is probably more in really solid, probably, but I grew up with 24. I remember my dad putting on an episode of season 1 probably back in like 2005 or 4. I think he started watching it in. I know it aired in like 2001 or something, but around 2005, and I just was glued to it. I was like, Jack Bauer's my hero, and he was my hero for like 10 years straight, and I still kind of love the guy. I gave it a rewatch as well, probably about 3 years ago. I did seasons 1 to 6, and then I never did the last 2 seasons. And it still holds up. I think it's a really solid show. It does get a bit repetitive at times, and I think the 24 episodes per season can get a bit draggy, but Jack Bauer is such a great character. I still love him, and the twists and turns the story goes through still holds up and still surprises me at times, even though I know like the plot. It's like when I rewatch it, there's still some things that I'm like, oh yeah, shit, that happens. So yeah, I think 24 is one of those that it's like, it's so easy to binge because they have every episode genuinely ends on a really good cliffhanger. Maybe not every episode, but a lot of the episodes do end on genuinely really good cliffhangers, and it makes you want to just binge through it. Like 13 Reasons Why is not a show that I feel like I'd sit down and binge if I was like watching it off camera, of course. But 24, I know, speaking from experience, I binge 24. So goated show, love it. I mean, we've had a goated show already, and we're on the second show, but I love it. 3%, a Netflix show that I did a reaction to season 1. Started doing season 2, and I didn't really get on with the second season. I think I did about 4 episodes of season 2, and I think they were getting blocked, and I wasn't that into the season, and no one really seemed to care about 3% anymore, so I was just like, okay, I'm kind of done. I think the show's ended now as well after like 3 seasons or something like that. It was okay, I seem to remember. I remember season 1 being like the characters were pretty crap, but the story was okay. That's what like was keeping you engaged, was the story and the plot, but the characters weren't that interesting. And then season 2 was just kind of more of the same from what I remember. Yeah, this is one of those that I didn't actually finish. I did one season and a half of, not even a half of the season 2, like 4 episodes of season 2. I'm going to say average from what I remember about it. It was okay. Nothing much to write home about on that one. Afro Samurai. Yeah, I've included all anime and cartoons in here that I've watched as well. I mean, we have Avatar: The Last Airbender and Anohana there, so that should explain that. But Afro Samurai is one that I've only watched once. I need to give it a rewatch because it's been so long since I had watched it. Probably, when did I watch? Maybe like 10 years ago or something. It's been a while. But one of the first animes I watched all the way through, I think it was like this and Naruto. Way back in the day. 2 very different shows, but they were the two anime that I got into. And then I got into anime a bit more with just binging a load, probably in about 2015, I want to say. But Naruto and Afro Samurai were the only 2 TV shows, anime that I really got into. So I remember it being really solid, so I'm going to put it in there. But I think on rewatch, this could be one that maybe goes up or down, because I remember the character with the teddy bear head. I remember Samuel Jackson voice acting the main character. I remember quite a few good action scenes that I've rewatched since. But I need to go back and definitely give this show another, because it's quite short as well. I think it's like 6 episodes or something, so it'd be very quick to get through. But I remember it being good, so we'll put it there for now. American Horror Story. This one's hard because it's one of those anthology, is that how you say it? Anthology shows where obviously every season's a different story. They keep the same cast, but they play different characters, and you get some really great seasons like Asylum, Murder House, I'd say, was up there. Coven I didn't enjoy, but then I think I've not watched Freak Show or Hotel. They're the only 2 that I've not seen. I've seen every other season, even the more recent one with Macaulay Culkin in, which I stopped doing reactions to. I finished that off camera because I was like, and it just got really bad that season did. Which is an example actually. The most recent season of this started off really good, then was really poor. And then you have like Roanoke, which I really liked. A lot of people didn't like Roanoke. I like that one. So it's a hard one. I'm probably gonna put it in. If you get rid of Asylum, I think you look, even with Asylum involved, I don't know. I'm gonna put it in average, but above 13 Reasons Why, because I think Asylum is a better season of TV than season 1 of 13 Reasons Why. And then American Horror Story also has Murder House. But then they have so much crap in it. I say it's like 50-50. You have like really good seasons and really, really bad seasons. And I think they're doing another season, so we'll see how that one is. Yeah. I was debating more bad than good, but I think Asylum gives it that edge just a little bit because that season is so good. I remember it being really good anyway. Akame got killed. This was the first, apart from the ones I watched like around Afro Samurai and Naruto, so the only 2 anime that I watched, when I kind of gave anime more of a chance in 2015, Akame got killed was the first anime that I started. I didn't finish it until a bit later, but started Akame got killed pretty early on. I really like this one. I think it kind of has lower ratings, but the characters were fun. The story was fun. I think it was just a fun anime. It did have definitely some down moments kind of in the middle, I seem to remember, but the action was cool. And yeah, I really like the main character as well. I don't remember a whole lot about it, but I just remember the characters being really engaging. So I'm going to put it as average, below American Horror Story. Not one I'd rewatch, I don't think, unless it's like maybe in like 5 years. Maybe I'd give it another shot, because again, anime is so easy to just digest because it's like 20 minutes out of your life. It's nothing really. And it's only 1 season as well, but maybe it's really solid. No, maybe not. Maybe not. There were moments of it that were really solid, but I think overall, and the ending, I think the ending's really good actually. So maybe above American Horror. Yeah, I'm gonna put it above American Horror Story. I really enjoyed Akame got killed. Not quite really solid though. Alice in Borderland, we only have 1 season of. This is a show that I've reacted to, and we have season 2 coming out I think in December as of recording this, so or like November or something. So just around the corner, not too far away. Yeah, season 1. First 2 episodes were a little bit, okay, kind of like more of the same of what I've seen before. And then I think it's like episode 3 hits and it's like solid all the way to the end. Definitely some crappy CGI in there. I don't think the characters are that good. I think they're decent. but basing it off season 1, basing it off season 1, I'm going to put it in really solid for now. Maybe I should call this like really good. Really solid sounds too powerful. I'm going to change it to really good, because fantastic's like up there, so maybe that makes more sense. Like, it's a really good show. Really solid sounds like it's kind of a bit more flawless than it actually is. Yeah, I think based on season 1, really good start. We'll see where it goes in the second season, because this could be one of those they completely just drop the ball within the second season. We'll see. All of Us Are Dead, another show that I've done reactions to, did reactions to every episode of season 1. This is one of those shows where it just is too long. There's too many minutes in this season. I think it's 12 episodes long. They're an hour each, and there's even a couple of episodes in there that are like an hour 15 or an hour 10. And all it is about like high school kids getting attacked by zombies. That's the story, but they somehow managed to make it, like 13 hours long with a second season coming as well. It was good. I just think it was way too long. I think they could have cut 2 episodes out and shortened the runtime to about 50 minutes per ep, and we would have been solid. But basing off season 1, I'm going to put it probably there for now. Average. I really like the characters. That's what really held it up for me. Because the story was just they were trapped in the school and they had to find a way out. And there's obviously some side stuff going on as well outside of the school, but that was the main plot. But it was the characters that really boosted it to being a bit more, at least bearable than it would have been without them. Like, if the characters were crap, I would not bother going into season 2, but I'll give season 2 a chance. American Crime Story. I've not watched this one that this picture is of, which is Impeachment, I think, which came out last year or the start of this year. I've not heard anyone talk about season 3 of American Crime Story, but I watched season 1, which was the OJ season. Loved that season so much. That was incredible. And then I reacted to the assassination of Versace. So I reacted to every episode of that. That was really good as well. I don't think it was as strong as season 1, but season 2 was pretty solid. I'd say season 1's like a 9 out of 10, and season 2's like probably an 8 or a high 7, like a mid 7 out of 10, one of those. And then I've not watched season 3. I'd be willing to watch season 3. I probably won't react to season 3, but I might watch season 3 if people tell me it's good. I'm going to put it in really good. I think probably at the top of really good for now. Season 1 I think is fantastic, and then season 2 is really good. So yeah, it could. Again, it's kind of hard with these anthology ones because it's like you want to kind of part each season out. But yeah, season 1 I'd say is fantastic. Season 2 is really good. So we'll put it at the top of really good for now and keep it there. Angel Beats. This is one of those shows where I remember starting it and I was like, it's alright. Music's pretty good. Not sure about this. And then the midway point, it clicked. I was like, oh my god, this is, yeah. I won't say I fell in love with this show, but I really got into it a lot more kind of at the midway point. It's only 12 episodes, so very short. And I think it was around episode 6 or 7 where the story kind of did a bit of a switch up and not much of a twist, but it did kind of change the pace of what was going on. And then you just engaged from then all the way to the end. So from what I remember about it, again, this was back in 2015, so it's been a while. I'm going to put it in fantastic. We are first fantastic. I remember really loving the show. I remember really loving the characters and the music, and especially the ending. Like, the ending was amazing. So I need to rewatch this one for sure. There's going to be quite a few shows on it that I'm going to have to rewatch at some point. But yeah, Angel Beats, fantastic. And with an E. I remember reacting to the finale of season 3 of this show and being like, don't worry, guys. We're going to be back for a season 4, and I'll see you guys there. Don't worry about it. And then I think 2 days after the finale went up, the show got cancelled. And I remember being like, because like Ryan Reynolds was tweeting about it, about how much bullshit it was that it got cancelled, and like Sam Smith and stuff. Like, they weren't even happy. I was like, oh, if Ryan Reynolds is talking about it, then Netflix are going to know they've made a mistake. Cut to 2022, the show never got renewed for a season 4. I was like so sure they were going to give us a 4th season. Or even when it got cancelled, I was like so sure they were going to be like, oh, we made a mistake. season 4 is coming back. But that never happened, which is such a shame because I don't think it. I don't know. In terms of Netflix shows, I know it didn't start out on Netflix, but let's just say it's a Netflix show for the sake of it because it belongs on there now. This is in the top 3 for sure. I don't think it's quite number 1 now. I did at a time think it was at number 1, but I think there's been 2 other shows now that have maybe kind of topped that on the next Netflix round. But yeah, and with the knee, I'm going to put in fantastic. I don't think it's quite goated for me because I do think there are some characters, and I think seeing it as a whole now with seasons 1, 2, and 3, there's just some storylines that never got wrapped up, and that's unfortunate. But that's in the show now that we kind of have unresolved storylines, and it's just going to be like that forever now. So I can't say it's a goated show because it technically didn't end; it just got cancelled. It's not Anne with the Knee's fault, but I don't know. I still think that is one of the worst cancellation to a show that I've seen. Maybe there's been a lot of shows that have ended too soon, but I think Anne with the Knee is definitely up there as one of the worst decisions that the company has made. So I don't know. Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say number 1 because the other one I'm thinking of is like Shadowhunters, but Shadowhunters had an ending. They were able to come back and end it. So, but just again in the same way, and with the Knee still had a satisfying ending to that season, I guess. So it's not like it was just completely left open of like, oh, okay, well, we're never gonna have a happy resolution. I guess we kind of got a resolution in some ways, just not others. Anohana. This was an anime I went into with high expectations and came out kind of disappointed. I remember going into this and it being perceived as like the saddest anime you're ever going to watch, and it was like 10 or 12 episodes long. It was very short. I was like, okay, saddest anime of all time, let's see. And I didn't get on with it as much as I thought I would, honestly. Like, this, people love this anime. I'm going to put it in more bad than good. So I just did not connect with any of the characters. The story didn't grip me. The ending I thought was a little bit fine. It was a little bit forced, but I was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, that's one that people are definitely going to disagree on for people who have seen it, because I know that's a fan favourite anime as well. But yeah, just some shows just don't connect with you, I guess, and Anohana was one of them. Wasn't for me, unfortunately. I really wanted it to be as well. I went into it like really wanting to like it, and it just, yeah, maybe I went in with too high expectations or something. Or maybe it's one of those again that I just need to rewatch and give it a shot, because this is, again, back in 2015 or something. But I was watching a lot of like really great anime then as well, so maybe it's kind of one of those where I'm comparing it to some others at the time. I don't know. I'm going off my thoughts of how I know I felt at that time, more so from a memory of the actual show, if that makes sense. So maybe it's a bit unfair, but we'll keep it there for now. Maybe if I ever rewatch it, we'll move it up or down. I don't know if it's never going trash, but Arcane. Oh, Arcane. I'm getting my Arcane tattoo next month. I think 3 weeks, something like that. So I mean, that should tell you how I feel about the show, but it's probably a bit risky getting a tattoo of a show that hasn't actually finished yet. But I don't know. I loved it. Season 1 was so good. So good. I was so surprised. I've never played League of Legends ever. And when I started doing reactions to the show, I remember episode 1 and 2. I was like, oh yeah, really, animation's incredible, characters seem cool, music's decent. And then ep 3 hit, and I fell in love with it. And they're like, I think pretty much every episode from then onwards, I was like, it's like one of the best animated shows I've ever seen so far. Granted, we have only had, I think, 9 episodes, so still a lot to go. I don't know how many seasons they plan to do, but let's say like 5 or 6. There's plenty of time to ruin the show Arcane, but for now, I'm going to put it in fantastic. Putting it in Goated doesn't feel quite right because it hasn't finished, and I do prefer Anne with the Knee as a whole because we've had more of it. But yeah, Arcane, such a good story, great characters I never thought I'd connect with because, again, didn't really care. I didn't even plan to react to it, but I remember seeing the hype around it when the finale aired, and I was like, I'm going to watch it anyway. I might as well react to it because it's only 9 episodes, and I'm so happy I did. So happy that I reacted to it. I'm assuming we'll be getting season 2 late next year. So I don't think we're gonna have an update on that in the next video, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I love Arcane. If you haven't checked it out, give the first 3 episodes a go. They're quite short, so I recommend that one. Archer. Not watched this one in a while. I checked my Tracked and I completely forgot about the show, but apparently I'd watched 3 seasons of it. I remember bits and pieces of it, and I remember it being quite funny, but I don't remember much about it in terms of story or plot, because I think I watched this back in 2014, I want to say, so almost 10 years ago now. But my ratings for it were good on Track, so I mean, I'll have to take my own word for it. I'm going to put it in really good from what I remember, and this is based on the first 3 seasons, because I know the show's still going. So yeah, I'll probably put it like that. I remember it being pretty funny, to be fair. But I don't know if that's more... I found it funny back in 2014, and if I watch it now... Because I tried to watch an episode of Family Guy the other day. I couldn't do it. It's just so unfunny. So maybe Archer's one of those. If I went back and watched it now, it's like extremely unfunny. But I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and put it there. Arrow. This will be an interesting one, because I think a lot of people have said Arrow really fell off, and I know it's finished now. It didn't get cancelled, but it did just end. I only watched seasons 1 and 2, and I remember starting season 3, and the premiere of season 3, they killed off my favourite character. And I was like, I'm done. I was so salty. So I refused to continue with the show. I'm pretty sure they brought that character back, like they weren't actually dead. But I didn't know that at the time, and I was too salty to continue. But seasons 1 and 2, actually really good. If you know my reactions, you know I'm not much of a superhero TV show or film. I'm just not that into the stuff. But I'm not like one of those who just shits on them either for the sake of it. So I'm actually going to put it in really good from what I remember. I'm going to put it below Afro Samurai, above Archer. This is based on seasons 1 and 2. And I think a lot of people say that they're like the 2 best seasons as well. And then like season, is it 4 or 5? I can't remember. There's like a season later that's really solid as well. But yeah, I liked Arrow. I liked the characters. I thought the story was pretty cool. It was fun. It was a very episodic show as well, but it wasn't as bad as some episodics. It did have that overarching story going on pretty well in it as well. So yeah, Arrow was good fun. Attack on Titan, oh dear. This is where people get mad, but I need to explain something to you here. Listen carefully. I've only seen seasons 1 and 2. That is it. I've heard season 3 plus Attack on Titan on like a whole other level, and season 4 has had 2 parts now, and season 4 is getting a 3rd part. Don't know how that happened, but season 4 is getting a 3rd part, and apparently season 4's incredible as well. I know this, but I really enjoyed season 1. I thought it was overrated, but I enjoyed season 1, and then I really did not like season 2. I thought season 2 was boring. I didn't like any of the characters in season 2, so I'm not going to put it in trash, because season 1 was really good. But I am going to put it... Okay, how about this? I'm going to put it here, but when I do this again next year, I'm going to make sure I've caught up. I'm going to make sure that I have caught up with Attack on Titan. I'm going to go back to episode 1. It didn't win the poll of my top 100 shows, so I'm not going to react to it because it didn't get that many votes, to be fair. But I know my audience doesn't really care about the anime reactions, so I'm going to go back to episode 1 of season 1 and watch the show from start all the way to where it's at now, and I will redo the Attack on Titan rating. But for now, based on my memory of it, I really did not like season 2. I remember that for a fact. I really didn't like season 2. Season 1 I'd put in really good, but season 2 I'd put in trash. So I'm going to put it in more bad than good. Because season 2, the wait as well, the long ass wait we had to do between season 1 and 2. Oh my god, what was it, like 4 years? Ridiculous. Avatar, going from that though, Avatar The Last Airbender, goated. I prefer 24 because I'm nostalgic for it. I didn't grow up with Avatar The Last Airbender. Obviously, I reacted to every episode back in 2019, I think I want to say. Or I started in 2019, ended it in 2020 or something like that. But amazing. incredible. I can't believe I didn't. I always knew of Avatar: The Last Airbender growing up, but I never gave it a shot. I never cared to. And then going into it, I was like enjoying season one. Had some really great episodes. I enjoyed the character. Season two heightened that by 10, and then season three heightened that by 20. Like, satisfying ending, great characters, wonderful animation, beautiful music. The story is so good. This is a show I'm definitely going to rewatch by the time I do the second. I reckon like probably sometime this year or next year. I'm going to rewatch Avatar: The Last Airbender because it's so short as well, and maybe I only finished it a couple of years ago, so it's not like it's been a long time or something like that. But yeah, I love it so much. I actually miss it. I actually miss Avatar: The Last Airbender. I know we've got the live action Netflix show coming out as well, which people are shitting on already, understandably, I guess. But I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. Even though saying that, I think the original creators were part of that live action show, which kind of gave me a bit of hope. And then they dropped out. They dropped out. I remember because I was sat in a waiting room to get my blood checked. And it's quite a fitting room, I guess, because then I read the news that they dropped out the Netflix adaptation. So, I mean, maybe that says all you need to know about what this is going to be. But I'm still going to go in with, not expectations or, comparing it to the original, but you have to have some expectations for sure. But how about, I won't go into the live action shitting on it. We'll react to it when it comes out and see how it is. But I don't know why I'm talking about the live action. Literally doesn't matter. I wonder if that'll be out by the time I do the next part of this next year. I don't know when that's planned to come out. Is it this year or next? We'll see. Banshee. So this is... I was ahead of Anthony Starr before you lot joined him on Homelander with The Boys. This was his show that I knew him from. And he's so good in this. If you like Anthony Starr as Homelander, I've reacted to the first 3 episodes of The Boys as of recording this. So I'm very early on in the show, but if you like him in that, check him out in Banshee because he's so good in it. He's so good. It's only 4 seasons, 10 episodes per season, so 40. Or I think like 39. I think season 4 is a little bit shorter. Such a great show. I think there's like flaws in it in terms of its story and like some of the CG and some stuff. The characters aren't always super likable, but the action is great. And I don't know what it is about Banshee that really worked for me. Season 3 is amazing. Season 3 is so good. Season 1, Season 1 and 2 are great as well, but Season 3 is incredible. Season 4 is a bit of a step down from 3 from what I remember, but even that's a really good ending. Watch Banshee, please. I feel like it's such an underrated show. There's going to be a few in here that I mentioned that I'm going to say are underrated, and Banshee is one of them. Watch the first couple of episodes, give it a go, see what you think. It's brutal. It's about... I'll give you a little bit of a synopsis. It's about a guy who comes out of prison, the main guy, Anthony. I forgot his... I don't think you actually know his name in the show. But he comes out of prison and he takes on the identity of a cop who's died. So he's pretending to be someone that he's not. And it's a cop in this like small town area. And obviously... He's a criminal, so whenever he's on a case doing cop stuff, he's just taking it to the extremes and being an absolute knob and just beating the shit out of everyone and solving crime. It's not really about him solving crimes, but and he kind of... there's bits I don't want to say too much, but that's like the premise of it. That's what you learn about in episode 1. So give it a go. It's so good. I'm going to put it in fantastic. Below and with an E, I think. Better than Arcane because, like I say, Banshee's a complete story, so I know how it starts and ends. Yeah, I don't think it's quite goated because I do think there are some bad episodes, and not bad episodes, but I think there are weak storylines in there at times. And there's a couple of characters in there that I wasn't the biggest fan of, but overall, really, it's just a fun show. I think that's what I'd say about it. It's just a really fun time to watch. You're never bored watching an episode of Banshee, and that's what you want from a source of entertainment like TV itself. So there you go, check out Banshee. Bates Motel, 5 seasons. How long ago did that finish? Like 2017, I want to say. I remember actually trying to upload my reaction to the finale, and it was the first time. No, it wasn't the first time. No, definitely. Okay, it was the first time to a live action show that I'd cried at on camera. Because I cried two other times on camera, but it was to anime. So, and then I didn't do reactions for ages, and then I did. And Base Motel was the first time. I don't know why that sticks out of my mind. I just remember it being the first time I cried on camera to a live action show, I guess. Don't know why, no one cares. But yeah, I uploaded it and it got blocked within an hour, so no one ever got to see that, which I thought was kind of fitting and funny. But I really enjoyed the final season to this, and most of the show, I'd say there's definitely some bits in there that were a little bit, I think more so in season, was it 3 or 4? It might have been season 4 that got a little bit samey, but it was very short. 5 seasons, I think like 8 to 10 episodes a season, and great story, great acting. I remember at the end of season 5 saying he should have been nominated for an Emmy, and he wasn't, which I thought was ridiculous. He was so good in the final season. Freddie, I've not seen him in it. I know he's in the Good Doctor now. I've not seen him in anything though, because I've not watched that. I've watched a few episodes of it, but yeah, I forgot his name. He was so good in it though, and he didn't even get nominated for an Emmy. So I'm going to put it in. I'll put it in fantastic, but I think I preferred it to Angel Beats. I prefer Arcane at the moment for sure. Yeah, Base Motel, really, really good show. Maybe I don't know. Arcane. I'm going to put it above. I've not watched it in a long time. It's been about 5 years because I've not given Bates Motel a rewatch since. I think I probably should at some point, but it kind of like Banshee. You're just never bored by it. Again, there's kind of weak storylines in there for sure, but I think looking back, I'd say 95% of the characters are really what holds it up, because it's all just set in one location, which is the motel, obviously from the film Psycho. But they make it work because the characters are just up here and they're so good, and the acting's incredible. But yeah, Bates Motel, give it a watch. I think it's on Netflix. So Berserk, interesting. This is the Berserk 2016, so keep that in mind. I remember watching this or reacting to it, because I reacted to every episode of this season, and being like, "This is okay. This is okay." And I think I just wanted to be nice in my reactions, because looking back at some of that, the CGI is crap. And I've reread, not all, but some of Berserk since reacting to this. And I think the show in and of itself probably works, but then when you compare it to the material that it's based on, it doesn't work at all. Doesn't give it any justice. So... Then is it 1997? I think, or it might be earlier than that, like 90. No, it might be 97. Let me check. So the original Berserk, I had never finished. So I was going to say, like, I did 1997. Yeah, I did start that, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but the original Berserk TV series never actually finishes everything. Like, I started doing reactions to this because they said it was going to be like the whole story or whatever. I don't think it ever actually was. But yeah, the animation's awful. It doesn't give the manga justice at all, so you're going in trash. Are they doing it with Berserk now in terms of adaptations? Are they trying again for a third or fourth time, or however many times they've tried with the show? Or is it just left now? I don't actually know what they plan to do with Berserk, so if anyone knows, let me know. Better Call Saul. Oh, bro. As of recording this, the premiere to part 2 of the final season aired last night. So episode 8 is that of season 5? Is the last season season 5 or something? Oh, bro. I remember kind of a weird story with that. Not a weird story, but just a long story kind of getting into Better Call Saul. Because Breaking Bad had just finished. And then a year later, Better Call Saul came out. And I remember, obviously I love Breaking Bad, but we'll get to that in a minute. But Saul was never one of my favourites. I loved Saul, don't get me wrong, but he was never one of my favourite characters. So I was like, oh, a spin-off series about Saul, that could be interesting. I remember watching episode by episode of season 1, and I enjoyed season 1 when it aired. We're talking like 2014, I think this was. But I was never in love with season 1. I was like, okay, there's some stuff in there that I really liked, but I'm going to leave it, and I'll come back for season 2. Season 2 premiered, didn't even watch it. Season 3 premiered, didn't even watch it, and then season 4 came out. I didn't even watch that when that premiered. So, and this is a season every other year, so we're skipping forward a lot of years here. And then about a month before the final season started, I was like, I need to just. To be fair, a lot of people were saying Better Call Saul had got better and better as each season, so it was always in my mind, but I never wanted to jump into it until like it kind of got towards the end of it. And then the final season, and then I binged seasons 1 to 4 in about 3 weeks, I'd say. Less than that, 2 weeks. I binged all 4 seasons again. So good. So good. And we'll include season 5 in this conversation now as well. Incredible. On the level of Breaking Bad, I'd say. On the level of it. And I just feel like this is going to end so well as well. Like it's going to be the end of the Breaking Bad universe. So as of recording this, obviously don't know how it actually ends. So this could change to trash depending on how it actually ends, like some shows. I mean, even the show that I'm talking about isn't trash, but we'll get to that one. Where are you? Oh, there you are. I see you. I see you, Game of Thrones. Don't worry, it's not going to go in trash. But as an example, if Better Call Saul, I just don't feel like Better Call Saul is going to end poorly. And I hope I don't have to eat my words when I do this again next year. But for now, I'm putting it in goated. It's not as 20 again. I'm gonna put it. I don't know. This one's hard. I'm gonna put it above Avatar: The Last Airbender for sure. Obviously it's a better made show than 24. By the way, I 100% recognize that Better Call Saul is technically a better show than 24, but my bias to 24 is so strong. You just have to know that. So I'm not putting it as high as 24 for me. I love 24 so much. I'm sorry. I didn't grow up with Better Call Saul, unfortunately, for Better Call Saul. But it is, out of all the shows so far, this is the best made, if that makes sense. Yeah, I'm shocked. I didn't think you could make a spin-off from the pretty much the greatest show of all time and have it be on the same level of it. That's just insane. Vince Gilligan and Peter Gould, is it? Is that his name? Something like that. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know how they've done it, but the characters are amazing. The story is insane. Cinematography. Oh my god, the cinematography is on another level. On another level. That makes the show in and of itself as good as it is. But everything else is just a nice bonus to it. But yeah, it's incredible. If you gave up on Better Call Saul early on, because I did, and I did react to the very first episode of season 4, by the way. I don't know why. I don't know why I did that, but that fell through. But if you gave up on Better Call Saul like I did, give it another shot, because again, I didn't even give up on it because it was bad. It's just, I don't know, I felt like it was a little bit slow when I watched it back in 2014, but now I'm like, that's the charm of it. It's like you build up so well. So yeah, I love Better Call Saul. Can't wait to see how it ends. Big Little Lies. Is this still going? Or did this get cancelled? Big Little Lies. Did it finish? I think I want to say it. Yeah, it ended. So season 2's the end. That was back in 2019. So yeah. I mean, you can see my ratings here actually. 8 out of 10 for season 1. I think it was a high 8 as well. I think it's season 1 like an 8.8 or something. And then season 2, a 5. Yeah, I really didn't like. Season 5 was so try hard and was just dragging. Season 1 was not perfect. I was going to say so perfect, but in terms of its story and wrapping things up, I guess it didn't really, because it left it open ended at the end of season 1 as well. But I felt like you could have ended it after season 1, and it would have been a nice memory of a great TV show. But they went ahead and did season 2, and it kind of butchered it. So I'm assuming that got cancelled then, because season 2 ended on a cliffhanger. So, well, a cliffhanger. I was not invested enough for it to be a cliffhanger. I think season 2 had one genuinely great episode. And also the acting, music, cinematography, all the technical stuff about Big Little Lies is great. But the story and plot for season 2 was not the one. So I'm going to... Season 1 here. Season 2 there. So we're going to average it out to... Where do we average out Big? It's either average or really good. I'll put it in really good. I think above Allison. You kind of have to put it above some of these based on season 1 alone. Yeah. season one was, if season one wasn't as good as it is, then we'd be going down a little bit. But season one is really good. So yeah, Big Little Lies, up you go. Black Lagoon. This is here she is. We found you, Black Lagoon. Episode one of this I hated. I hated episode one. I was like, this is not gonna be my kind of show at all. And then I finished it. I was like gutted that it had finished. Yeah, I really love Black Lagoon. One of my favorite animes of all time. Great action sequences. Really, just cool characters is the word I would use. Is they are just cool characters. It's like I always said, it's like if 24 was an anime in some ways. At some points, it feels like if 24 was an anime. So I mean, you know how I feel about 24, so make that an anime. It's not really exactly if 24 was an anime, but it kind of has elements of that. I mean, she's got pistols in, not that one, but definitely, I was going to say in this poster and that, but, oh no, does she have it? Oh no, that's the same. It's exactly the same. That's just from the poster, okay. It looked like she had pistols because smoke around her, but that's just from a cigarette. There are posters out there, though, with a pistol, so. I'm going to put, it's either above Banshee. No, I think for Banshee a little bit, but it's close. It's close to being better than Banshee. So yeah, Black Lagoon, best anime in at the moment. Can it be topped? Spoiler alert, it can. We'll wait and see in terms of anime. Black Mirror, another anthology show. Again, some stinky episodes. I think there's about 3 or 4 really bad episodes, and because they're an hour long each, those bad episodes really hit. But the great episodes are some of the best TV you're gonna watch probably. There's about, I'd say you got about 4 stinky episodes, 4 goated episodes, and then I'd say pretty much every episode is fantastic or really good. So I'm not sure. Are they doing another season of Black Mirror? I feel like, again, let's just check on here. You know, this isn't always 100% accurate whenever it says cancelled or ended. No, okay, so it's not cancelled. So they are doing a season 6, which is good. So season 1, the national anthem, 3 episodes of seasons, beautiful. Yeah, season 3 is really, I don't know, this is a hard one. I'm not going to go through every episode because I've actually done a Black Mirror ranking every episode if you want to check that out. I'm going to put it in fantastic. Probably, I'm going to put it below Arcane just because of some of the bad. You have to look at the show as a whole. The good episodes are so good. I think there's definitely more good episodes than there is bad. We're only talking about, how many episodes does it have overall? There's actually 21 episodes. I'd say 3 of them, maybe 4, are genuinely kind of bad. So you've got way more good than bad there. So yeah, we'll put Black Mirror in fantastic. If they're doing another season, I'll be there. Blank. This is like, I guess the one show I blank on doing it. That was a poor joke. But I completely blank on that. I did reactions to this show. It just kind of came and went. It was a lot of fun. And then they did season 2, and I think it was like a different cast and different characters. So I was like, I'm not bothered. So I left it, and I think the show's done now. Let me check again. Just check. I'm pretty sure it's finished because no one really watched season 2. Yeah, ended. I did season 3 as well. So I did season 1 and 8. 57%. Damn. 30% for season 3. I guess season 2 got the highest rating, so maybe I made a mistake by not reacting to season 2. But I really liked season 1. I don't know what the rating is there. How many people rated it though? It's not can't be many. 4. Well, there you go. 4 people rated season 1. How many people rated the show as a whole? 11. Damn, that's brutal, but fair play. I'm gonna put it in average. After all that, no, I'll put it in really good. Better than Archie, yes. This is based on season 1 only, by the way. Of course, put it above Arrow for sure. Not as good as Big Little Lies. I thought it was really good. I don't get why people. Maybe I was wrong for enjoying it. Definitely wasn't. You can't be wrong for enjoying something, I guess. What do we even say about this one? What do we even say about this show that hasn't been said a billion times before. Breaking Bad, even my bias for 24 can't stop Breaking Bad going into the top of the top. It's just perfect. It is perfect. Even people say, oh, it's not perfect because you have the Fly episode. The Fly episode, don't even talk to me about the Fly episode because it's a good episode. I don't get the hate on the Fly episode. But, oh, it stops Breaking Bad being a perfect masterpiece. No. The Fly episode has purpose, trust me. No, I get why people don't like that episode that much, but I like it. And to me, it is the perfect show. Like I said with Better Call Saul, acting, storyline, characters, cinematography, music, your intensity levels, like the fact you can... It's the definition of having a show that gets better every single season until like the final season. It's just like this explosion of perfection. I love it. The final season's unbeatable, surely, in terms of how good a season of TV can actually be. But yeah, everyone's spoken about Breaking Bad for over 10 years now on how good the show is. I can't believe it. Next year would have been 10 years since the show ended, and I remember watching the final season week by week, going into college and talking about each of those episodes with like just everyone, even like the professors or whatever, you got like teachers or whatever, just everyone was watching it. Such a good time. What a time to be alive. Breaking Bad. I wonder if they will do another... I don't think they should, but I do wonder if like in 10 years or something they do another spin-off. Because you have Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, you have the El Camino film. Do you think they'll do another Breaking Bad universe show? Because the franchise is that big. I'm going to go with you shouldn't, but they might do. I just don't think they should do it anytime soon. Give it like another 10 years, I think, and then... Or do you think that's too long? Do you think people then are just like, kind of, if it's been 10 years, kind of leave it as it is? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. We'll come back when we're old and haggard in 2032 and see if they've done another Breaking Bad spin-off show. Bridgerton, we've just had season 2 finish about 3 months ago. And I only started the show about 4 months ago because obviously I binge recorded season 1 just before season 2 came out because it was a show that I wanted to watch anyway, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed Bridgerton. I was actually surprised by how much I enjoyed it. This was the show that opened my eyes to maybe even giving Downton Abbey a chance, which was one of those shows that I was like, I'm never gonna give Downton Abbey a chance. But this was like back when I was like, oh, I'm too good for Downton Abbey. I'm too good for Friends. Don't talk to me about these shows that everyone loved. It's like, I feel like everyone goes through that mindset, at least with something in some detail. And I was like that with Friends and Downton Abbey. But now, I'm open to most shows apart from Big Bang Theory. So, yeah, Bridgerton, I really enjoyed. I think the characters were a lot of fun. It's just a really fun show. I think I preferred actually season 2 to 1. My mum doesn't. She's watching season 2 at the moment and she says she misses the Duke. She's like, I preferred season 1 way more. I'm like, yeah, I wonder why. Wonder why you preferred season 1, mother. But yeah. Do we know who season 3 is about yet? I was going to say I hope it's about Penelope, but I don't know if we actually know who the season's about. So for now, I'm going to put it in. I'm going to go fantastic, but towards the bottom, like below Black Mirror. I think technically it's a really good show, not quite fantastic. Technically, but again, I go off enjoyment and enjoy. But then there were some moments in season 1. I think fantastic's a little bit high actually. I'm going to go the top of really good. Looking at it in fantastic with the others doesn't quite make sense because I actually do even for Angel Beats because it's like a complete package as well. But it is a really fun show. I think the characters really hold it up as well. So Bridgerton, you can go top of really good for now. We might as well finish the letter B, and then I'm getting a bit sweaty, so then I'm going to cut and I'll come back for the rest. We'll do like, I can't believe I've only just done B. What is this? Oh, that's C, because that's Clanad. Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. So I don't know if by the time this is up, I don't know if I would have uploaded the survey results. I would have, so yes. Buffy came 5th or something like that in the poll, so I will be finishing Buffy at some point. But obviously I got season 4. I think like the very end of season 4. So 5, 6, and 7. I got 3 seasons to go. I loved it. I really enjoyed Buffy, especially I think season 2 and 3 were just so good. So, I'm going to put it in fantastic for now, but I think this has a potential to be put in goated when I've finished it. Buffy as a character alone is so likable. So she's iconic. I love her. I love her. I actually missed this show. I'm actually really looking forward to finishing it finally. I'm going to put Buffy above Black Lagoon and above Banshee, I think. Yeah, not as good as Anne with an E, but a really fun show. Just again, it's one of the shows you just have so much fun with watching it. It does have like some episodic moments, especially with season 1. But I think once you get out of season 1, you kind of get away from that episodic feel. It depends what you like and look for in a TV show, but for me, episodic is not my go-to format for a TV show. So once you kind of got... Season 1 was as good as it was because Buffy was so likable, because Xander and Willow were such great sidekicks, and Giles. I've not watched it in like how many years, and I still love these names. I say that because I'm usually really bad with names, by the way. I know it's not like a feat to be super proud of, but I'm proud of myself right now. So, yeah, I'm going to put Buffy at number 2. And I feel like, again, when I finish it, this, depending how it ends, this could be a show that's put in goated because I really, really enjoy it. I can't believe there's a show that aired in the 90s and it's as fun as it is. It's so good. But it has that 90s charm as well. I feel like if you did Buffy now, it could still work, but that charm of the 90s is obviously evaporated. So, all right, again, I don't know if I'm going to do this as one whole video or in separate parts, but for now, I'm going to leave that there. So I think that's typically how many I'd have in a typical tier list anyway. So we've done letters A and B and the numbers, I guess, if you want to sound like we've done more than we actually have. Look how much we have left to go. That's like a whole screen of TV shows, literally. That fills up the whole more. There's so much to get through. But yeah, this is one video. I'll just do a cut, throw in when I'm next here. If there is a second, if I do this in parts, it'll probably be about 5 or 6 parts. So maybe we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll do like 2 sittings in one part. You know what? Whatever happens, happens. And I'll see you when I see you. Until then, peace.